combination by Rocky. Draws a beautiful left hook counter by La Starza. Oh, his man down. La Starza has been knocked down, but never out. As he himself puts it, I know how to get up. During this, and ducking under those shots by Marciano. Watch.
Champ now.
Yes, I didn't say. What are you looking so sad about, Champ?
I'm surprised at you. I mean, I'm really insulted. I mean, that's not right what you just said.
What do you mean? What I just said?
I mean, I'm get a drink of water. I'm late getting home, but you talk. I said something about the greatest heavyweight champ, man. I'm a hometown man, and you talk about Joe Louis, man. Joe Louis wouldn't be nothing for me. Joe, I tell you, Joe, do you think you would have stood a chance with me?
Well, Clay, one time during my career, I went on a Bomber of the Month tour.
Bomber of the Month? I would have been a bomb compared to you.
Well, you'll be on the tour.
Oh, man.
What's happening, my people? It's Cat Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. Now, as usual, before we get started, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. It's just boxing talk. We're a group of people who just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. That's all. Miss Cass, hashtag JBT, Mike Mazik. Salute to everyone and welcome to another episode of Cass Sports, The Box Story. Today, the life and career of Bob Arum. And you know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's The Box Story, bringing you all that boxing history. Boxing is the greatest sport of them all. That's why we love it. Can't get enough of it. How's everyone today? This is the Thursday afternoon edition of Cass Sports, The Box Story. We're doing a profile on Thursday this week because there will be no Cass Sports tomorrow. Tomorrow is the meet and greet, and round 2 I probably will be traveling, and I might have to co-pilot. So I was going to do the show on the way up the road, but who knows? I might have to get behind the wheel or something. You know, I'm the co-pilot. My daughter going to be piloting the ship. So yeah, we're going to return Monday. So we're going to do the profile today. Okay. Life and career of Bob Arum. How is everybody today? Got your tickets to the meet and greet? It's tomorrow. All we got is a wake up. Gonna be a great time too. Okay. Now, highlights of boxing history today is going to be the top 12 all-time greatest chins. Okay. Greatest chins. You know, who can take that punch and just keep right on coming. Even take the one you don't see and not go down. You know how they say the one you don't see is the one that gets you? These 12 guys take the one that they don't see and still don't go down, okay? Top 12 greatest chins of all time. Going to be a little history lesson today. And then we're going to talk about the Bob father, Bob Arum. Been doing it for 50 years. Actually, about 60 because he had the main belt, which was the precursor to top rank. Bob got with some members of the Nation of Islam and had a promotional company called Main Belt that was primarily formed to promote Muhammad Ali's fights. And Bob was like a lawyer. But Bob said, forget that lawyer. I can make more money promoting fights, and the rest is history. Still doing it in 2025, 93 years young, okay? Him and Don King. Remember, we did Don King last week. And at the end of the Bob father profile, we're going to talk about some other promotional companies, you know, like the grandfather of them all, Tex Rickard, first known promoter of note. There had to be promoters before Tex because they were fighting, and somebody had to set them up. That's what the promoter does, sets them up. So, but Tex was the first one of note, okay? And we're going to talk about him, Golden Boy, Mayweather Promotions, Frank Warren, Boxer, some other promotional companies when we get finished with Bob, okay? But first, we're going to talk about the top 12 chins of all time. Okay, like I said, these guys get hit by the punch they don't see, which will send most people to the canvas, but not these guys, okay? Just had some solid chins. So let's get into that before we get into the Bob father. Okay, 12 of the top chins of all time. Now, a pugilist's last line of defense is the durability of his mandible. And of course, no one doubts that a key qualification for ring greatness is sheer toughness, the ability to absorb heavy blows and fight on. Here are 12 of the all-time best chins in boxing history. The warriors who, despite prolific careers and battles with truly dangerous punches, seldom went down, and who, without exception, always got up off the mat if they did happen to go down. Okay, we're gonna go from 12 to number 1. Coming in at number 12, top 10s of all time, is Carlos Monzon. Carlos Monzon at number 12. One of the toughest of middleweight champions. The Argentinian had 100 professional fights and visited the canvas just 2 times. Okay? 2 times out of 100 professional fights. And the first time was an early loss in 1964 to the more experienced Felipe Cambero, and then the fellow champion Rodrigo Valdez in his final fight. Okay, he went down early in his career and went down in his last fight in 1977. Escopito, Carlos Monzon. Coming in at number 11, William Gorilla Jones. You better have a good chin with a nickname like Gorilla. Mandatory to have a good chin. Number 11, William Gorilla Jones. In 144 fights, Jones was off his feet just 1 time. Okay, courtesy of great middleweight champion Freddie Steele. Okay, you hear that? 144 fights. The man went down once. That's what I call a great chin. William Gorilla Jones. Coming in at number 10, Carmen Basilio. One of those great 1950 middleweights I'm always ranting and raving about. Now, Carmen Basilio, the rugged onion farmer, that's what they call him, the onion farmer, battled some of the all-time greats at both welterweight and middleweight, and was on the canvas just once in 79 fights. When he narrowly beat Sugar Ray Robinson in their first epic battle, it was reported he shook off punches that would have knocked down a horse. Okay, Sugar Ray had 100 knockouts, but he couldn't get Carmen Basilio down. Coming in at number 9. Yeah, number 9. Panama Al Brown. Now, a lot of these guys from back in the day, where these guys were just tough, man, you know. Panama Al Brown. This great bantamweight champion was knocked down on a single occasion in a grand total of, get this, 168 fights. Don't need enough to say. I don't have to say no more about him. That's it. Okay. That sums it up. Coming in at number 8, one time in 168 fights. Okay, I don't even have to say no more about that. Coming in at number 8, the great Barney Ross. Hall of Fame career featuring dozens of fights with numerous fellow greats. Ross was decked just once, and that knockdown was courtesy of the great Jimmy McLaurin. Okay, went down just once in his career, Barney Ross. Number 7, Pancho Villa. 104 fights in the ultra-competitive 1920s. Pancho Villa was never knocked down. 120 fights, never been on the canvas. Pancho Villa, great Filipino, arguably the greatest Filipino of all time. Number 6, Muhammad Ali. Deadly bangers like Sonny Liston, George Foreman, Smoking Joe Frazier, Oscar Bonavena, Ken Norton, Ron Lau, and maybe the hardest punch in boxing history, Ernie Shavers, all tested Ali's chin, and the greatest proved more than their match. As Frazier said after their third vicious war in Manila, man, I hit Ali with punches that would bring down the walls of a city. but it didn't bring down Ali. Number 5, Billy Graham. This tough New York welterweight had no fewer than 126 fights, including battles with Joey Giardello, Kid Gavilan, and Carmen Basilio. And guess what? Billy Graham was never off his feet. Never. Okay? Joey Giardello, Kid Gavilan, and Carmen Basilio. None of them could get Billy Graham off his feet. None of them. Donnie Williams in the building. What's up, Donnie? We're looking at the best chins in boxing history. Let's talk about Billy Graham. Never went down. And you know what, Donnie? These guys, you know how they always say that the punch you don't see is the one that knocked you down? These guys didn't go down from the punch they didn't see. Okay? Still didn't go down. Let's salute Donnie Williams. Coming in at number 4. We're on number 4 right here. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. He had a serious chin on him. Hagler was the world's best middleweight for almost an entire decade, and a host of heavy punchers, including Thomas the Hitman Hearns and John the Beast Mugabe, could not put him down. Thomas the Hitman Hearns and John the Beast Mugabe couldn't put Marvin Hagler down. Okay? He tasted the canvas only once on a bogus knockdown to Juan Rodon. You know, that wasn't no knockdown. I've seen that many times. But the referee called it a knockdown, okay? But no, so Marvelous really never been down. Just that one wasn't really a knockdown. Coming in at number 3, Jake LaMotta. Jake LaMotta. Best chins of all time. Jake LaMotta. In 106 fights, the Bronx Bull hit the deck on just one occasion. And that was when he took a dive, okay, in a fist fight, right? So never really knocked down, okay? Now, he fought the great Sugar Ray Robinson 6 times. And even Sugar Ray Robinson could not get Jake LaMotta off his feet. And Sugar Ray had 100 knockouts, okay? But none of them was Jake LaMotta. Well, he did stop him, but it still didn't go down. It was a TKO. He still didn't go down. Coming in at number 2, Kid Gavilan. Kid Gavilan. Against the likes of Ralph Jones, Bojack, Tommy Bell, Ike Williams, Carmen Basilio, and of course, the great Sugar Ray Robinson. Gavilan proved his chin rock hard, knocked down only 3 times in 143 fights. And the greatest chin of all time, not even disputable. Not even disputable, okay? He made Canelo chin look like Jello. The greatest chin of all time, George Chuvalo. George Chuvalo, okay, without a doubt. Battling in the most competitive heavyweight division in history, the 70s. This brave Canuck slugger took the hardest shots of Ali, Foreman, Frazier, Patterson, Bonavina, Quarry, Dora Foley, Ernie Terrell, Cleveland Williams, Bob Clareau, and Yvonne Durrell. And amazingly, he was never off his feet. Never. Never off his feet. George Chuvalo, the greatest chin of all time. Big George. Never went down. And fought, let me say them again, fought all of them, man. Fought in the greatest the era of the 70s heavyweight. Listen, just listen. Ali, Foreman, Frazier, Floyd Patterson, Oscar Bonavina, Jerry Corey, Laura Farley, Ernie Terrell, Cleveland Williams, Bob Clareau, and Yvonne Durrell. None of them could get George Chuvalo off his feet. None of them. So those are 12 of the greatest chins of all time. Now the meet and greet is tomorrow. Okay. No cash sports tomorrow. Gonna be traveling. But the meet and greet is tomorrow. Get your tickets. Going to be a great time. Meet some of these, you hear all these great JBT content creators on the air. Meet them in person tomorrow, okay? Including Cass Sports, Mrs. Cass, okay? My daughter, baby Cass, gonna be there. But she's 31, so not a baby, but still, yeah. We all gonna be in the house, okay? Let's check it out. It's tomorrow.
It's fight week, so come join us this Friday night from 8 p.m. till midnight for an amazing network event where you can mingle with fighters, trainers, podcasters, and executives, as well as some of your favorite YouTube personalities from the JBT and others. The cost is only $30 and includes entry, food, and entertainment. There will be a cash bar, door prizes, and much more. Get your ticket today via Cash App at $JBT Network 1. That's $JBT Network 1. Or call 410-322-4365 for more information. Space is limited, so get your spot today. Another great event brought to you by the JBT. Curtis Sewell, Treasurer.
Thank you, Big Dre. Big Dre does a great job. That's the JBT spokesperson there. Okay. Yeah, we had some honorable mentions for the greatest chin, too. Let me tell you the honorable mentions. I forgot to mention them. These are some other guys who had great chins. Rocky Marciano, Julio Cesar Chavez, Randall Tex Cobb, Juan Laporte, Joe Grimm, Oliver McCall, Salvador Sanchez, Gene Tunney, Sugar Ray Robinson, Hector Camacho, Marion Wilson, Oscar Bonavina, James Lights Out Tony, Johnny Risco, the great Harry Greb, Juan Manuel Marquez, Sugar Ray Leonard, Kennedy Golovkin, and of course, last but certainly not least, Canelo Alvarez. Okay? Yeah, he would have been on the list, but all former guys. And yeah, tomorrow, don't forget the meet and greet is tomorrow. We're gonna have some door prizes, some trivia questions where you can win prizes. Top prize is a 2026 Dodge Ram pickup. No, just kidding. But there's gonna be some great door prizes, right? Some trivia questions. I'm in charge of the trivia questions, so they're going to be hard. No, Bruce Gas won't be there, so somebody else get a chance to win. Okay? And yeah, Bob Father today. We're gonna end up this big week of boxing history today because the meet and greet is tomorrow. No Cash Sports tomorrow, but we will return Monday with another big week of boxing history. Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Cash Sports, the Box Story, bringing you all that boxing history. Okay? But how's everybody today? We got Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. Today is the what? Final press conference, right? And the weigh-in tomorrow and Saturday they throw down. Congratulations to Al Booger. He won the raffle and won the ticket to the fight. So he'll be in the house. I thought Al Booger already was going, so that should be my ticket, shouldn't it? I was the alternate for the ticket. So maybe he wasn't already going. I don't know. I'm not going to the fight, but I'm going to be in the area tomorrow. But yeah, we got a good week coming next week too. Gonna get another full week. Only 3 days this week. Monday, with the situation, and then tomorrow is the meet and greet. So we're gonna end it up today with the Bob Father, Bob Arum. And then after the Bob Father, we're gonna talk about some other promotional companies, you know. Like like I said, Tex Rickard was the first big promoter of note, right? Now, like there had to be promoters before him because there were fights, right? And somebody had to set him up. That's what a promoter does. So, but he was the first one of note. He promoted the first $1 million gate, remember? And $1 million in 1921. Ooh, that's part of what, like 500 million nowadays, I guess. 1 million in 1921. What would that be now? And that fight was between Jack Dempsey and George Carpenter, the French fighter. Between George Carpenter and Marcel Cerdan would be the greatest French fighter of all time. I'm trying to see real quick before we get started. How much was $1 million in 2021? What is that equivalent to today? Anybody know? I know it's in 6 digits in the millions. And we're going to get started on the Godfather. I was trying to kill time till 2:30. Still got 1 minute. So let's see what $1 million in 1921 is worth today. Equivalent to in 2025, right? Yeah. You spell equivalent. Let a rainy day up here and be more. At least it ain't snowing. 1921 equivalent to in 1925. No, not 1925, 2025. Okay. Let me see if they give it to me. And sometimes Google act like they don't know what the hell you're talking about. Okay, here we go. I got it. Woo! God damn. 17,631,564.25. I thought it would have been much more than that. I thought it would be at least 100 million, but 17 million. 17 million in 2025. Yeah. I don't think that's right because it would be at least 200-300 million nowadays. But let's start on the Godfather. Nah, it had to be more than that, man. Come on. Google don't know everything. They go to show you Google don't know everything. Okay, the life and career of Bob Arum. That's over 100 years ago. You mean to tell me it's only went up like $16 million? No way. At the end, we're gonna figure it out. Okay. There's the Godfather. How's everybody today? The profile today is Bob Arum. Here, I done lost my chat. There it is. Mike Rim in the building. What's up, Mike? Life and career of Bob Arum. We're doing the profile today because we're not gonna have a show tomorrow. Around this time, I'll probably be on the way to the meet and greet. Gotta ride up to the Big Apple. This will be only the second time in my life I've ever been to the Big Apple. Only 2 times in my life, yeah. And it's only like 4 hours away. And hey, I ain't losing up in New York, so I don't really have no reason to go up there. Okay. Here we go. We're gonna get started now. Okay. Robert Arum. He was born December 8th, 1931. He's an American lawyer and boxing promoter. He's the founder and CEO of Top Rank, a professional boxing promotional company. based in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, prior to becoming a boxing promoter, Arum was employed as an attorney in the tax division of the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York. Okay? Let's look at his background and early career for the Bob father. Ken Saul Love 1 in the building. What's up, Ken Saul Love 1? How are you today? Oh, yeah, there he is. I was giving a say Jarrell Hattie. What's up, Jarrell? Salute to Ken Saul Love 1 and Jarrell Hattie. We're going to be talking about Bob Arum today. No cast sports tomorrow due to the meet and greet. I'll be on the highways and byways this time tomorrow afternoon. Okay. Let's look at his early life. Here's him and Don King, right there. Now he attended Erasmus Hall High School in New York City. Then he attended New York University, and then he went to Harvard Law School with fellow students. We called of our father as Snooty, right? Now, he graduated, Now he worked as an attorney in the United States Department of Justice during the Kennedy administration, and he had little interest in boxing until 1965, okay? Now, following the 1963 assassination of John F. Kennedy and his Justice Department service under Robert F. Kennedy, Arum joined a Wall Street law firm, Phillips, Nizer, Benjamin, Krim, and Ballard, where he researched Kennedy's assassination for senior partner Louis Nizer, author of the foreword to the Warren Commission report. That was a report where they looked into Kennedy's assassination and everything. Bob worked for the guy that wrote the foreword of it, okay? In 1963, as a prosecutor for the Department of Justice, Arum's work led to an indictment of the president of the Washington Heights Savings and Loan Association, Floyd Kramer, for leading a mortgage tax evasion scheme. Kramer committed suicide hours after being indicted, at which time Arum recalled, Bob said, "What kind of person causes another man to take his own life? I was ashamed. I knew then that I wasn't cut out to be a prosecutor." Arum continued to practice civil law until dissolving his office in 1979. So he still had his law firm and everything while he was promoting, okay? Look at the Bob father. Okay. In 1962, Arum was assigned by the Department of Justice to confiscate proceeds from the September 25th, 1962 Sonny Liston versus Floyd Patterson World Heavyweight Boxing title fight, during which he met closed circuit television pioneer and former Neil Burnett and company vice president Lester M. Mallitz of Lester Mallitz Incorporation. The Mallitz was the promoter of the 1965 Terrell Chivallo fight, during which he retained Arum to represent him. Then in 1966, subsequent to a suggestion by Jim Brown, whom Arum had secured for Mallitz as the fight's announcer, Arum became a boxing promoter. In 2016, Brown recalled that Arum had seen a televised fight in 1965 as the first fight Arum ever saw was Terrell Chivallo, and he watched that from the television truck. Arum credits Brown with introducing him to Muhammad Ali, and Ali with teaching him how to be a boxing promoter. Arum became a vice president and secretary of Ali's promotional company, Main Belt. Mike Mallett, son of Lester, like Arum, owned 20% of the company and became its vice president. Okay. Jim Brown owned 10% of the company and served as its vice president in charge of publicity. Referencing his first live fight viewing, Arum was reported as saying that he had never seen a boxing match before the first fight I did with Ali, referring to the 1966 Muhammad Ali versus George Chuvalo fight. Excuse me for a minute. I gotta switch this up. That ain't working right. Give me like 1 minute. That ain't working too good. And I be complaining about little words. Those words are actually too big. God damn. I mean, wow. I had words like that when I was in kindergarten. Got to keep scrolling too often. You know what I mean? Okay. This would be much better. Okay, now I got to find out where I was at. Where were we? Boxing promoter, right? Yeah, he smokes cannabis and everything too. Barbara Arum does. Okay, let me find that. Yeah, this is much better. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, the words was too big, man. Damn. Okay. Now, during the 1980s, Arum became a driving force behind the sport, rivaling Don King. Arum organized super fights, including Marvin Hagler versus Roberto Duran and Hagler versus Thomas Hearns. Arum mounted the Hagler John Mugabe, Hearns James Schuler doubleheader in Las Vegas in April 1986. Okay? Now, after they lost by knockout in the first round, now Schuler, who had lost by knockout in the first round, showed up at Arum's hotel room to thank him for the opportunity to fight Thomas Hearns. 10 days after that fight, Schuler died in a motorcycle accident. In 1994, he tried to add basketball to his interests, joining forces with Fred Hofheims and Louisiana politicians to purchase and relocate the Minnesota Timberwolves to New Orleans. But the deal was rejected. And New Orleans did eventually get a team, though. Yep. Okay. Now, Arum has concentrated largely on promoting Hispanic fighters in recent years, citing surveys which show boxing is among the most popular sports within the Hispanic community. Now, this strategy began after his successful signing of Roberto Duran and promoting Duran's comeback fight against Davey Moore, which demonstrated he was not washed up after the 1980 No Mas fight. Duran made a nice comeback from that. Next, Arum signed Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and Oscar De La Hoya. He promoted all of Oscar's fights until Oscar opened his own company, Golden Boy. Yeah, Arum promoted all of his fights up to that point. Arum has had great success with Puerto Rican Miguel Cotto, who won world titles at the 140, 147, 154, and 160-pound weight divisions. Cotto was the first 4-division Puerto Rican world champion. The Mexican-American Antonio Margarito, who held a 147-pound WBO belt from 2002 to 2007. Mexican-American Jose Ramirez, the former WBC and WBO light welterweight world champion. Honduran American Teofimo Lopez, the former lightweight world champion, and Mexican Oscar Valdez, the former WBC super featherweight world champion. Yeah, everyone still promotes Teofimo and Valdez. Yeah. Let me take a drink real quick. I had to wet my whistle. I just had to wet my whistle. Oh, excuse me. That carried away. Okay, yeah. He mainly promotes a lot of Hispanic fighters these days. Now, Arum has concentrated many of his shows in the southwestern portion of the United States, in cities with large Spanish-speaking populations. He is also the promoter of many of the cards on Telefutura, a Spanish-language network. Okay? Arum later shifted over to Azteca America. In 2016, he put together an all-Hispanic undercard for Manny Pacquiao versus Timothy Bradley, 3, in protest of then presidential candidate Donald Trump's statement on Mexican immigration. Arum was inducted into the International Boxing, inducted. Arum was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 1999. Okay, in 2003, he was inducted into the Southern California Jewish Sports Hall of Fame. Okay, now let's look at some of his controversies. Has had some controversies over the years. Let's check out some of them. Okay, excuse me. And after we finish with the Godfather, we got to talk about some other promotional companies, okay? Now, as a boxing promoter, Arum had been involved in many spats and controversies, including a 40-year feud with Don King, with whom he has co-promoted many fights. UFC President Dana White has also been a vocal critic, and the two have engaged in a protracted and acerbic public feud. Yeah, him and Dana White don't like each other. Dana White definitely hates Bob Arum. I know it's a strong word, but Dana White hates Bob Arum. Okay. In 2018, White briefly became a rival boxing promoter. In 1994, he was involved with John Daly, Bob Arum, back to Bob. He was involved with John Daly for the High Noon in Hong Kong boxing event. The fights were called off at the last minute when Barry Hearn scuttled the fight by withdrawing his fighters, when no purses were forthcoming from Top Rank. We're talking about some of the controversies the Godfather been involved in now. In 2000, citing extortion, Arum voluntarily testified to having paid IBF President Robert W. Barbie Lee Sr. $100,000 in 2 installments in 1995 as the first half of a $200,000 bribe through middleman Stanley Hoffman, adding that Lee had first demanded $500,000 to approve the Schultz-George Foreman fight, but had settled for the lesser amount of $200,000, half of which was never paid. And remember when we did Don King last week, Don King was a part of that, trying to get Don King to testify, but Don King took the fifth. But remember, I told you the Godfather sang like a bird. Yeah, he gave Lee up. And Lee and his son went to prison too because of that. Yeah, the Godfather said he paid Lee $200,000 for favorable rankings for his fighters and to get that George Foreman Schultz fight on. Mm-hmm. Now, Lee was indicted for racketeering in 1990. He used to be the president of the IBF. Lee was indicted for racketeering in 1999 but convicted of money laundering and tax evasion in 2000. Now, following his testimony, Arum was sanctioned and fined $125,000 for the Nevada State Athletic Commission. He should have went to jail too, you know? He admitted he paid, well, I guess his testimony, he made the deal. Remember, Don King took the fifth, but Bob sang like a bird. And if he did it then, he's still paying them sanctioned bodies money now, okay? He was in his 80s then, so he ain't changed. 2005, he's 93 now. What was that, like 20 years ago? Yeah, he was in his 70s then. So if he paid them off then, he paying them off now, okay? Just ain't got caught this time. Get ready to go to jail then, so he started singing. Yep. But he was fined $125,000. That was probably part of the deal. Yeah. Now, boxing promoters Cedric Kushner and Dino Duva also admitted to making similar payments to Lee. Yeah, Lee and his son went to jail, and a few other officials of the IBF back around that time. Bob Father was right in the middle of it. They don't call him the Bob Father for nothing. Okay, Oscar De La Hoya successfully sued Arum and was legally released from his contract with Top Rank in January 2001. Now, Floyd didn't sue him. Floyd just paid him off. I think it was $750,000 to get out of his contract with Top Rank. Oscar wasn't willing to pay. Oscar sued him to get out of his, yeah. Floyd just paid the money up front and got out of it. I guess Floyd didn't want to go through all the court battles, and you had to pay a lawyer and all that stuff. So Floyd said, I'll just give you $750,000. Him and Al Heyman was involved too. Give you $750,000 and let me go. But Oscar sued him successfully and got out of his contract. That's when Oscar formed Golden Boy. But up to the point Oscar formed Golden Boy, Bob Arum had promoted all of his fights. Yes, he had. But yeah, Oscar successfully sued him and was legally released from his contract with Top Rank in January 2001. And I think he formed Golden Boy in 2002, right? Now, following years of acrimony, oh man, I got some more stuff to show y'all. I was getting interested into the thing. Now, where was I? Anybody know where I was at? Also successfully. Yeah, following years of acrimony, Arum and De La Hoya publicly salvaged their relationship in 2014. Okay. You sue me, I ain't never salvaged nothing. You're always gonna be my enemy. He could have just paid him off like Floyd did, right? But Oscar wanted to take the cheap route. I ain't paying you nothing, and I'm still getting out of this contract. Right, but he was successful at it, so hey, don't hate the hustle. Okay, in 2003, Arum complained about judging in the September 13th fight between Oscar De La Hoya and Sugar Shane Mosley, and suggested there was a vendetta against him from a member of the Nevada State Commission that led to De La Hoya's loss. Okay. Arum later made an apology for the remark, which Commission Chairman Luther Mack accepted. It's him and his son there, Lomachenko. That's Bob's son. Yep. In the first week of January 2004, FBI agents raided Arum's Top Rank office in Las Vegas. Arum was on vacation when his office was raided, and the FBI originally declined to comment on the raid. Now, the news media reported that the FBI was investigating allegations that Top Rank was involved in fixing the rematch between De La Hoya and Shane Mosley. Yeah, because that was the one he complained about the first time that was fixed against him. He said the Nevada State Boxing Commission had some kind of vendetta against him. So Bob fixed the rematch. But that's what the FBI was, that's what the media reported that they was investigating. The Top Rank was involved in fixing the rematch between De La Hoya and Sugar Shane, even though De La Hoya lost, and Arum was De La Hoya's promoter. Okay? He was still Oscar's promoter at that time. Now, the federal agency also announced, FBI, that announced it was investigating some of Eric Esch's fights as well as the Jorge Paez Verdell Smith fight. You know, Eric Esch, Butterbean. Wait a minute. Yeah, Butterbean. Yeah, that's Eric Esch, remember? The big guy used to wear the red, white, and blue trunk, boxing trunks. The FBI was investigating him too. Okay. Then the investigation closed in the summer of 2006 with no charges being filed against anyone. Okay, so Bob Father got away with that one. But yeah, he fixed that fight. You know he did. But he got away with it. So he didn't do nothing wrong. You get away with it, right? That's what I say. Because like I said, if I rob that bank and don't get caught, I'm going to spend that money. Right? So you didn't do nothing wrong. So Bob got away with fixing the fight. In 2000, we talk about some of his controversies. In 2007, Yahoo Sports reported that Floyd Mayweather Jr. essentially accused Arum, who promoted him from the beginning of his career in 1996 until 2006, of underpaying him, exploiting his talents, and manipulating officials. Mayweather, who also became a boxing promoter, stated to Yahoo Sports in 2015, "I don't have anything bad to say about Bob Arum." But see, Floyd didn't sue him like I was just saying. Floyd went on and paid the money and got out of the contract. Okay. Everybody hitting the like button. Let me hear. They looking okay. Okay. Yeah, Floyd paid $750,000, right? Him and his then manager. That's when I forgot his name. PBC guy became his manager. Damn, I got it right. Al Heyman. Yeah, that's around the time Al Heyman became Floyd's manager when he got out of the contract with Top Rank. Okay. So, Arum filed a lawsuit against the HBO for overstepping its boundaries in the sport by becoming a de facto promoter while trying to intentionally eliminate him as a promoter. Arum complained that HBO dropped Mayweather from his exclusive deal after he insisted his fighter have a tougher fight than the network wanted. Okay, so Mayweather was still with the Bob Father then. Okay. I keep losing my place. Now the suit was settled out of court, but Arum continued to criticize HBO by saying, instead of working with promoters like they have done in the past, they have become promoters themselves. Okay? They make the fights just like promoters and pay fighters, Arum said. It's their money and they can do what they want, but Don King doesn't have to go along with it, and neither do I. King and I can get along without HBO or Showtime. Now, the problem HBO Sports got into is they became defenders of the status quo. They held you back because they had control. Yeah. HBO had that moolah. Okay. I'm trying to check if I missed anybody come in. Let me refresh the chat. No, nobody came in. All right. Now, in 2009, Arum defended Antonio Margarito when he lost his boxing license in the U.S. state of California on charges of illegal hand wraps. How can you defend that, Bob? The man was busted, him and his trainer. Now, Bob implied that it was racially motivated and stating that Top Rank would not come back to the state of California until the issue was rectified. Yeah, Margarito was busted, man. He got caught with shit in his hand wrap. So how you gonna defend that, Bob? He was fighting. You can't defend the indefensible. Come on. In 2020, Arum stated that one of his top fighters, Terrence Crawford, should also start promoting himself better. Now, I never agreed with that. What the hell he paying you for, Bob, if he got to promote himself? If he got to promote himself, he don't need you, right? I never agreed with that statement. You are the promoter. That's what you get paid for. But you said the man should promote himself. That's absolutely crazy. If the fighters promoted themselves, then they don't need y'all, right? So, but Bob, remember, he said that Crawford should start promoting himself better. But Bud came back with a good comeback. Bud said, how well is Lomachenko promoting himself? He can't even speak English. But Bob ain't say nothing about his son. He willing to promote his son. His son ain't got to do nothing, Lomachenko. But Bud got to promote himself. Meanwhile, Lomachenko can't promote himself. He can't even speak English, like Bud said, right? Now, Arum compares his situation with several other greats in the sport. Arum stated, talking about Crawford, remember this? Bob's father said, he could have built the house in Beverly Hills with the money he lost on Crawford's last 3 fights. Well, promote him better then. Okay, you the promoter. Now, Crawford, through numerous media outlets, showing his disappointment towards Arum's comments. Yeah. In January 2022, Crawford sued Arum for racial bias and for the money he lost by not being promoted well enough. Now, whatever happened to that suitcase? Whatever happened? It's just dropped. Everybody just stopped talking about it all of a sudden. Did Bud drop it or what? Did Bob settle out of court? But Shakur Stevenson should thank Bud. That's when Shakur got that fight against Oscar Valdez, because Bob was trying to prove he wasn't racist. So he said, see, I gave Shakur this fight he always wanted. He's a black fighter. But he couldn't get it before then. But when Bud put that suitcase on Bob, Shakur got that fight. So he should thank Bud for that. Yep. Personal life of the Bob father. And we're going to talk about some other promotional companies after we finish with the Bob father. You know, Texas Card, Golden Boy, Mayweather Promotions, Frank Lawrence, Queensburg Promotions, Boxer, Main Belt. Bob was a part of Main Belt too. Let's talk about Bob's personal life. Okay. Personal life. There's some shots of the Bob father, that's all. There's him and Tyson Fury. Okay, let's talk about his personal life. Okay. Damn, I didn't know I had this many. Wow. I got like 100 shots of the Bob father. Now, Arum has been married twice. He had 3 children with his first wife, Richard, Elizabeth, and John. His son is an environmental lawyer, John Arum. Fell to his death in 2010 while climbing the north face of Storm King, a mountain in North Cascades. Now, why do you want to climb the mountain? You know, I never understood that, man. Skydiving, climbing mountains. Look, he fell to his death. National Park. Right. He fell to his death in this Mount North Cascades National Park. And his son is most remembered for his meticulous representation of Native American tribal rights. Yep. That was his son, John Arum. In 1991, Arum married Lovey Dubouf, something like that, with whom he has 2 stepchildren. Todd DeBeef. I think Todd is part of, I don't know what the hell that is. Let me put it in here. I think Todd is part of Top Rank, one of his only child that joined the company. And that's the stepson. Probably going to take part of this waiting. When the hell are you going to die, Bob Father? Todd. The Bob Father might outlive Todd. Todd been waiting a lot of years for Bob Father to kick the bucket. Okay, yeah. Now what is that? The beef, the both, or whatever it is. That's it. That was his wife. It's his what was it? His 3rd wife. Yeah, and she had 2 stepchildren. So I think Todd is part of Top Rank, right? Yeah, Todd is the president of Top Rank, and they had a daughter, Dina DeBeef, vice president of Top Rank. So he got a stepson and stepdaughter involved in the company. None of his biological children joined the company, but 2 of his stepchildren, from his 2nd or 3rd wife. Now, Arum was a close friend and business partner of the late billionaire, casino tycoon, and CEO of Las Vegas Sands Corporation, Shelton Addison. Yep. I don't know how they got along because Arum don't support Trump, and Shelton Addison was a loyal supporter of Donald Trump. Now, in 1991, oh, wait a minute, I just did that. Now, Arum endorsed Democratic President Hillary Clinton in the run-up to the 2016 U.S. presidential election. Now, cannabis advocate, let's talk about that. Yeah, Bob Father is a cannabis advocate. He sure is. I appreciate you, Jarrell. I'm glad you like him. Okay. Yeah, Bob is a big-time cannabis advocate. I thought he had some kind of company or something. Let's talk about that. Cannabis advocate. Jay Hardcore said he smokes it. Maybe that's why he lived to be 93. Maybe I should start smoking it. Bob, 93, still puffing. Puff, pass. I think Don King do too. Both of them 93. Yeah. Miss Cass got a big old bag out there. I'm going to start smoking that shit. Roll me one up, Miss Cass. Arum, who appeared as corrupt DEA agent Stokes in the 1975 film, The Marijuana Affair, at the behest of his friend, Jamaican-born boxing promoter and filmmaker and bookie and horse racing aficionado, Lucien Chen, right, has advocated for the decriminalization of cannabis. This is Bob. He's advocated for the decriminalization of cannabis. And in the 2006, most places it is decriminalized now. In a 2017 interview, Bob stated that he had started smoking in 1966. Okay, let's figure that out. He's 83, 93, 66. What's that? 59 years ago, right? 59 years. 93 minus 59 is 34, right? So he was 34 when he started smoking. Yeah, I'm good at math. 34. 93 minus 59 is 34. He was 34 when he started smoking, right? In 1966. Declaring, cannabis is good for you. It's these damn people during the Nixon administration that really put cannabis into the position where it was a drug, like heroin and cocaine. And that was wrong. And he added that in a lot of ways, marijuana is better for the athlete as pain medication than the drugs they use. In a 2017 Vice interview, which erroneously reports film producer Chen as Shen, it was Lucien Chen, yeah, Arum was also quoted as saying, I think the NFL is going to revise its policy on marijuana, and I think everybody should. It was the Nixon administration that demonized marijuana to the real harm of a lot of people, particularly people who have terminal cancer. Marijuana can be a very therapeutic thing. Yeah, Bob Father be puffing. And he's been in some film and television. Let's look at that. Film and television. You know, I didn't know I had this many. This next to the last one. Okay, film and television. Arum has appeared in several television documentaries, boxing specials, movies, and shows, usually being interviewed about a boxer or fight, but occasionally as an actor himself, including in Play It to the Bone, where he played a boxing fan, and he plays somebody named Arliss, okay? And there you have it. The Bob Father era. Now, we're going to talk about some other promotional companies now, okay? Yeah. Okay. It's like we're ready to blow. It took a lot of clicks to get it to come on. Or maybe I just need a new lamp. We're going to talk about some other promotional companies now. Okay? But that was the Bob Father. Yeah. I'm learning too when I do these things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, his son, stepson, and stepdaughter are involved in the company, but none of his actual biological children ever joined the company. He had 3 biological children. I think he had 3 stepchildren. Yeah. And they just waiting like, damn, 93, man, still kicking. We're going to outlive them, watch. Let's talk about some other promotional companies. But first, the meet and greet is tomorrow. Remember? So, yeah. If you haven't got your ticket yet, you still got time. And you can probably be able to get tickets at the door because there's still a lot of space available. So if you're in the New York area, pull up. Tell them about it, Big Dre.
Hey fans, it's finally here. It's Fight Week. So come join us this Friday night from 8 p.m. till midnight for an amazing network event where you can mingle with fighters, trainers, podcasters, and executives, as well as some of your favorite YouTube personalities from the JBT and others. The cost is only $30 and includes entry, food, and entertainment. There will be a cash bar, door prizes, and much more. Get your ticket today via Cash App at $JBT Network 1. That's $JBT Network 1. Or call 410-322-4365 for more information. Space is limited, so get your spot today. Another great event brought to you by the JBT. Curtis Sewell, Treasurer.
Okay, thank you, Big Dre. Big Dre does a great job as the JBT spokesperson. Melanie Queen 27 has entered into the building. He has the link in there. We'll have it in there. Hit that link, go straight to it is in there. Go straight to the Cash App and get your ticket and pull up on us tomorrow. Meet some of these great JBT content creators. Okay. Most of them going to be in the building. No cash sports tomorrow. I will be traveling. I was going to do the show and we're up the road, but my daughter going to be the pilot. I'm the co-pilot. I might have to get into the pilot seat, so we're just going to resume Monday. That's why we're doing a profile today. No cash sports tomorrow, okay? But yeah, we ended up this week of boxing history today. We're going to look at some of these other promotional companies now, and it's going to be a great time. Door prizes. Al Booker won the raffle for the seat to the fight. But he ain't went yet, so, I'm the alternate to the seat. So I'm still waiting for that call, saying he might not be able to make it or whatever. But anyway, going to be some trivia questions to win some prizes and stuff. Good food. Going to be a great time. Going to be some boxing personalities in the buildings, some trainers and stuff. Might be some fighters in there. Who knows? Okay. Miss Cass going to be in there. And yeah, they letting me come. They're letting small potatoes come too, like me. So yeah, I'll be there. And Melanin Queen 27, J Hardcore, D1 from the Angry White Men, Senior from the Rise Podcast, Just Do Boxing, our spokesperson Big Dre. They all gonna be there, man. Yeah. Who did I miss? Yeah, they all gonna be in there. So pull up. Al Booger. So if you ain't doing nothing, but if you can't attend, donate to the cause. Hit that link and drop something on us. Help out a good organization, good growing organization, you know. One of the best on YouTube, the JBT. It's just boxing talk, right? Okay, let's talk about some of these other promotional companies now. Tex Rickard was the first promoter of note, right? Now, like I said, there had to be promoters before him because there were fights. Somebody had to set him up, right? So that's what the promoter does. But he was the first one of note, promoted the first $1 million fight. And the thing said $1 million in 1921 was only 17 million in today, but I think it's got to be more than that, man. That had to be wrong. Maybe I worded it wrong. 1 million in 1921 got to be way more than 17 million now. I thought it was like 200-300 million. That's only 16 million in all those years? That's all it's gained? No. I'm going to do that again. Okay. And then that's it. $1 million in 19. See, Google don't know everything. 21 is worth what in 2025? I could have worded that better. 2025. Let's see what it's. I put 3025. Damn. I'd be damn near 13025. Okay, let's see. It's got 17 million. What is that billion? No, that's million. $17,631,564.25. Wow. Okay, let's talk about some other promotional companies. Yep, that's what it says, 17 million. I just thought it would have been way more than that. But Tex Rickard, let's talk about Tex. Now, Tex Rickard, he was a American gambler and fight promoter, right? He made boxing fashionable and highly profitable. His promotions featuring Jack Dempsey, world heavyweight champion from 1919 to 1926, attracted the first $1 million gates, okay? There was $1 million in ticket receipts. After being a cattleman and a town marshal in Texas, and then a gold miner and a professional gambler in the Yukon, Rickard in 1903 established a casino in the mining town of Goldfield, Nevada. Now, to publicize the community, he promoted the world lightweight title fight in which Joe Gans defeated Oscar Battling Nelson on a foul in 42 rounds on September 3rd, 1906. Now, Tex wouldn't promote two black fighters. He would promote a black fighter against a white fighter because he felt two black fighters didn't sell. And when a lot of black fighters fought each other, they went to Europe, right, and fought. But in the 1940s, Joe Louis and Jersey Joe Walcott broke the record for ticket sales at Madison Square Garden, a record that was set in the 20s. It stood for 20 years, and Joe Louis and Jersey Joe Walcott shattered it. So that blew that out the water when Texas was thinking about 2 black fighters not selling. But yeah, he promoted that fight between Joe Gans and Batley Nelson, 1902, right? He then promoted Jack Johnson's successful defense of the heavyweight championship against former title holder James Jeffries at Reno, Nevada on July 4th, 1910. No, I wasn't born then. Okay. I know somebody was thinking it. One of the cast sports was at that fight. In 1920, Ricard gained control of Madison Square Garden, right? In New York City. On July 2nd, 1921, in Jersey City, New Jersey, he staged the first boxing match to attract the $1 million crowd. Dempsey 4-round knockout of George Carpenter. In Chicago in September 1927, Dempsey's unsuccessful attempt to regain the heavyweight title from Gene Tunney drew for Ricard the only $2 million gate in boxing history before the mid-1970s, right? Before the 70s. Now, throughout his career, Ricard's promotions appealed to prejudice. Black against white, Gans versus Nelson, Johnson versus Jeffries, Draft Dodger against World War I hero Dempsey versus Carpenter, and American against foreigner, Dempsey versus Luis Angel Firpo of Argentina. Now, much of his pageantry was aimed at women, and he sought socially prominent patrons by organizing numerous fights for charity. He was probably the first boxing impresario to prove expert at handling large crowds. In addition to his career as a boxing promoter, Ricard founded the New York Rangers hockey franchise in 1926, which he owned until his death. Yep, founded the New York Rangers. Tex Ricard. Okay, yeah. First boxing promoter of note, but not the first one, because like I said, it was fights before him, so somebody had to set him up, right? That was the promoter. Main Belt Promotions is next. We're just talking about some other promotional companies since we covered the Bob Father today. Main Belt Promotions, the precursor to Top Rank. Okay? Now, Main Belt Promotions was the precursor to Top Rank. After the Floyd Patterson fight, Muhammad Ali founded his own promotional company, Main Belt. Now, the company mainly handled Ali's boxing promotions and pay-per-view closed circuit television broadcasts. Yeah, pay-per-view back then was closed circuit, which was they would show fights on the big screen at movie theaters, basketball arenas in cities, and basketball arenas on college campuses, places like that would be on the big screen, and you'd pay a fee to go in and watch it. That was a pay-per-view back in them days, right? Mm-hmm. You had to go outside, and like now you can lay back in your bed and watch pay-per-view. You had to go outside in public back in them days, yeah. I saw Sugar Ray and Hearns and Sugar Ray and Hagler on pay-per-view, Baltimore Arena. I don't even know what it's called now. I think it was the Civic Center then. I don't forgot. But anyway, Main Belt stockholders were mainly fellow Nation of Islam members, along with several others, including Bob Arum. Now, the company was founded in 1966. And then Top Rank, we talked about Top Rank. That was Bob Arum's company. The Top Rank was actually founded by Jahir Herbert Muhammad and Bob Arum, right? It was incorporated in 1973, based in Las Vegas, Nevada, right? Now, since its founding, that's the stuff we didn't cover during the profile. Since its founding, Top Rank has promoted many world-class fighters, including, I can't get the page stuck together. Oh, okay, page together. Muhammad Ali, Alexis Arguello, Terrence Crawford, Oscar De La Hoya, Roberto Duran, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, Marvin Hagler, Juan Monroe Marquez, Manny Pacquiao, Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather Jr., Eric Morales, Thomas Hearns, Paulie Ayala, Iran Barkley, Michael Carvajal, Larry Holmes, Ray Mancini, Carlos Monzon, Terry Norris, Gabriel Ruelas, his brother, Rafael Ruelas, James Lights Out Tony, Kubrat Pulev, Guido Vanello, and Tyson Fury. Like I said during the Don King profile last week, all those big name fighters back in them days fought under Don King banner or the Top Rank banner under Bob Father at one time or another. All of them. You had to if you wanted the big fight. Like Turkey Al Sheik trying to monopolize it now. The Bob Father and Don King had it monopolized back then. If you were a boxer and wanted the big fight, you had to deal with one of them. You had to deal with one of the two, or you wasn't getting no big fights. Okay, that's just how it was. Ooh, that was good. Okay. Now, some of the fights Top Rank promoted. We didn't talk about this during the profile. Super fights. Hagler versus Leonard. Chavez versus De La Hoya. Holyfield versus Foreman. Foreman versus Mora. Sugar Ray Leonard versus Thomas Hearns. Hagler versus Hearns. Ali versus Frazier, 2. And both Ali versus Spinks fights. And the company also promoted George Foreman's comeback to regain the world championship against Michael Mora. Yep. Early in its history, Top Rank promoted the Snake River Canyon jump of Daredevil Evel Knievel. He was this crazy guy back then, man. In September 1974, he would line up like 50 cars and take a motorcycle and come up around and try to jump over all of them. The man that broke every bone in his body, Evel Knievel, man. But he made some money doing it. He was wild. And the event was held at Twin Falls, Idaho. It was shown live on closed circuit television in hundreds of theaters for about $10 each. And the steam-powered Sky Cycle X2 had a premature deployment of its parachute, and Knievel survived. Like I said, the man that broke every bone in his body. He would line up buses, like 10 buses, front to back, and come off a ramp on a damn motorcycle and try to jump over them. Yeah, Evel Knievel. He was a daredevil, man. Yes, he was. In the early 1980s, Top Rank Boxing and then fledgling ESPN formed a partnership to bring weekly boxing to the cable network, which culminated with the first regularly televised boxing series since 1964. Now, the first event was held on April 10th, 1980 in Atlantic City, New Jersey, when middleweight Frank the Animal Fletcher decisioned Ben Serrano. Now, the original Top Rank Boxing on ESPN was the longest running cable series and weekly boxing series in history, after celebrating its 16th consecutive year in 1996. Now, ESPN broke away from the contract after that, replacing it with Friday Night Fights, a new series that would feature fights from other promotions and aired on ESPN2. In July 2017, Top Rank began to soft pedal a new broadcast engagement with ESPN, beginning with Manny Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn, followed by 2 more cards in August. That month, ESPN officially announced a multi-year agreement with Top Rank, calling for events airing across ESPN, linear, and digital properties, including its recently launched subscription service, ESPN Plus. It was a new thing back then. And an option to carry events on pay-per-view. On August 2nd, 2018, ESPN extended the agreement with Top Rank through 2025 this year. And now it looks like they talking about breaking it off, remember? Yeah. Back in 18, they made the extension to 2025. That was 7 years ago, and now 2025 is here. Yep. Let's talk about Don King Productions again. Some of this stuff in here we didn't cover last week. What is the fuck? I keep losing my chat. Oh, come on. I gotta do this and that. There we go. Refresh. Anybody coming? No? Okay. Don King Productions. We just talked about some other promotional companies since we covered the Bob Father today. Don King Productions, right? Now, Don King entered the boxing world in 1972 after convincing Muhammad Ali to box in a charity exhibition for a local hospital in Cleveland, Ohio, with the help of singer Lloyd Price. Now, early on, he formed a partnership with a local promoter named Don Albar, who already held a stable of fighters in Cleveland and years of experience in boxing promotion. Now, in 1974, King negotiated and promoted the heavyweight title fight between, we covered some of that last week. Let's move on to the next one, okay? After Don King, it's, there's a lot on Don King. Matchroom. Let's talk about Eddie Hearn's Matchroom, okay? Eddie Hearn's Matchroom. Bear with me for a minute. I can't read my own handwriting. That's bad, man. There we go. Matchroom. Eddie Hearn. Okay. Now, Matchroom Sport is a UK-based sporting event promotions company founded by Barry Hearn and run by him and his son Eddie Hearn. Now, the company is based in Brentwood, Essex, over in the UK, and formed in 1982, and first came to attention in the sport of snooker and boxing. Snooker is like a pool, you know, like a form of pool. Billiards. Came snooker, bowling, golf, fishing, darts, table tennis, poker, and gymnastics. The Matchroom has been among the world leaders in major boxing promotion and production for over 30 years. I actually can't read my own. This was late at night. It's like chicken scratch. Bear with me. The Matchroom has been one of the world leaders in major boxing promotions and production for over 30 years. Now, since its debut in 1987 with the Pro Box banner, it has become renowned throughout the world for quality boxing entertainment. That first promotion in 1987 was the Frank Bruno versus Joe Bugner heavyweight fight in front of 35,000 people at White Hart Lane in the UK, okay? The Matchroom current stable of boxing stars includes Anthony Joshua, Katie Taylor, Josh Warrington, Bam Rodriguez, Dimitri Bivol, Juan Francisco Estrada, Joe Cordina, Jai Apataya, Alicia Baumgartner, Terry Harper, and Sandy Ryan. Now, The Zone, the subscription sports service, has a boxing rights agreement in the United States and Mexico to stage Matchroom's boxing events. Now, the deal began in 2018 for 8 years. Last year, 3 more years were added to the deal. Now, Matchroom has broadcasting agreements in the United Kingdom with Sky Sports, the BBC, and ITV. In April of 2021, Barry Hearn stepped down as chairman with his son, Eddie Hearn, taking over the role, okay? Yeah, Barry Hearn stepped down in 2021. That's when Eddie took over, right? Now, Burry will continue as president in an advisory role. Okay. Now, Golden Boy. We just talking about some other promotional companies. Since we covered the Godfather, let's go to Golden Boy Promotion. Okay. Golden Boy Promotions. Now, Golden Boy Promotions Incorporation is an American boxing promotional firm based in Los Angeles, California. Now, the company was established in 2002 by 8-time world champion in 6 divisions, Oscar De La Hoya, borrowing his nickname, Golden Boy. You're under the same name that Oscar fought under, the Golden Boy, remember? Now, the company promoted the May 5th, 2007 super fight between De La Hoya and Floyd Mayweather Jr. at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, Mayweather won the fight by a split decision. I thought it should have been unanimous. Oscar was doing all that on the ropes, throwing all the punches, missing his butt off, man. But some of the judges got fooled. Even Floyd Mayweather Sr. got fooled because Floyd Mayweather Sr. said he thought Oscar won. But Oscar was doing a lot of missing, man. That was unanimous. One of the judges even got fooled and gave the fight to Oscar. But fortunately, the other two got it right. Floyd won by split decision. Now, the fight once held the record for most pay-per-view buys, and as the second highest grossing fight in the history of the sport of boxing. Now, Golden Boy co-promoted with Top Rank the Dream Match, Oscar De La Hoya versus Manny Pacquiao on December 6, 2008. In January 2017, Golden Boy signed a contract to bring their boxing promotions to ESPN under a 2-year deal of a total of 8 fights, okay? No, a total of 48 fights. In October 2018, fighting under the Golden Boy banner at the time, Canelo Alvarez signed an 11-fight deal with sports streaming site DAZN. At the time of this signing, Canelo's deal was the highest athlete contract in sports history. That's not just boxing, that was sports history. 2018, that was the biggest contract any athlete had ever signed. Okay. Now, Canelo was Golden Boy's biggest star at the time, right? He parted ways with Golden Boy in 2020. Now, some of Golden Boy's current top fighters are Ryan Garcia, Virgil Ortiz, and Floyd Schofield. Covered his bear over there, Golden Boy. Yeah, covered his bear over there. Ryan Garcia, Virgil Ortiz, Floyd Schofield. Now, Golden Boy currently has a long-term multi-fight contract with DAZN, the global sports streaming platform. Same one that Eddie Hearn with Metro, right? DAZN. Yeah, Golden Boy with DAZN. They started with ESPN when they first got their first TV contract, and now they with DAZN. Yep. See all Oscars fighters on DAZN. Okay, Mayweather Promotions. We just talked about some other promotional companies. Mayweather Promotions is next. Okay. Now, Mayweather Promotions is a boxing promotional firm founded in 2007 by Floyd Mayweather Jr. after exercising a provision in his contract with Bob Arum and Top Rank that allowed Floyd to become a free agent for the price of $750,000. Now, Al Heyman has been an advisor of Mayweather since then, since he left. That's why Bob don't like Al, because Al got him away from Top Rank. Yeah, Al was involved in that, and Bobby never liked Al ever since. Matter of fact, sued Al, talking about he paying his fighters too much. Well, pay your fighters more, cheap ass. Yeah. But yeah, Al helped Floyd get away from him. And when Floyd gave him that $750,000, yeah. And Mayweather Promotions also promotes forms of live entertainment, including other sporting events other than boxing, live music, and theatrical events, and film and television production. The Mayweather Promotions is most well known for playing a big role in guiding one of the current faces of boxing, Gervonta Tank Davis, to superstardom. You know, I had to throw that in. Yeah. Yeah, he played a big role in guiding Gervonta Tank Davis to superstardom. Leonard Ellerby is the former CEO of the company. Yeah, Leonard ain't no longer with him. Right. I think Leonard's still affiliated with Tank though. Yeah, but he's not with Mayweather anymore. Yeah. Okay. Next, Frank Warren, Queensbury Promotions. We just talking about some other promotional companies since we covered the Bob Father's Day. Frank Warren, Queensbury Promotions. Next week, profile of the book is way over there again. I always do that. I'll let you know before we go off. Book is way over the other side of the room in the closet. Okay, Frank Warren, Queensbury Promotion. Now, Frank Warren, born February 28, 1952, is an English boxing manager and promoter. The Warren and his son, George Warren, own and run Queensbury Promotions. Warren was also a founder of the British boxing television channel, Box Nation, which ran for over 11 years from 2012, okay? Now, Frank Warren has promoted and managed world champions and top-ranked fighters, including Nassim Hamed, Frank Bruno, Tyson Fury. He don't manage all of these guys now, but once upon a time he did. Nassim Hamed, Frank Bruno, lost my place, so I started over for the third time. Nassim Hamed, Frank Bruno, Tyson Fury, Josh Warrington, Joe Kawasaki, Nigel Benn, Billy Joe Saunders, Steve Collins, Chris Eubank, Amir Khan, and Ricky Hatton, right? Now, Warren coached by his, Warren was approached by his, I wrote this, but I actually can't read it. Warren was approached. What was it? Anyway, let me go to the next page. I actually can't read that. In August 2020, man. It was late at night when I wrote this, I'm sorry. But he was approached by his second cousin, Lenny McLean, who, having just lost a fight and wanting a rematch, could not find a promoter. Warren agreed to become an unlicensed promoter, getting McLean a trainer who had worked with Chris Finnegan, and made the rematch at the Rainbow Theater in Finsbury Park. Now, Warren's first licensed show was held at the Bloomsbury Crest Hotel in London in 1980, promoting two unknown United States heavyweights. However, although he had arranged TV coverage, he was blocked from broadcasting the fight by the British Boxing Board of Control. Their rules prevented first-time promoters from televising their first fight. That's a crazy rule, wow. However, Warren was later given his first TV date with the BBC, with the British Boxing Board of Control, in a British light welterweight fight between London's champion Clinton McKenzie and Coventry contenders Steve Earle. Warren soon became a leading figure in British boxing, and since has managed some of British's best boxers of the last 25 years, including Prince Nassim Hamed, Nigel Benn, Joe Kawasaki, Ricky Hatton, Derek Chisora, Nicky Piper, and Amir Khan. Warren guided Hamed to become Britain's youngest ever world champion. Warren signed the 2004 champion Olympic light welterweight silver medalist Amir Khan and guided him to be a world champion. He continued this post-Olympic record by signing others after the 2008 Olympics. In December 2007, Warren was elected to the International Boxing Hall of Fame and was inducted in January 2008. I wonder why boxers got to wait like 5 years after their careers, but promoters can go in while they still promoting. Because Warren's still promoting, but he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2008. Like, what, 17 years ago, but he's still promoting. But, boxers got to wait like 5 years after their career. Was it 3 now? They might have changed it to 3, but they still got to wait. But promoters can go in before the career is over with. Wow, I don't understand that. I agree with that, wait until your career is over thing, but I mean, it should be across the board for everybody, I guess. But boxer, promotional company. This is the last one, I think. Boxer. Founded by Ben Shalom, boxing began as Ultimate Boxer, organizing 8-man professional boxing elimination tournaments, starting in April 2018, and proceeding to host a total of 6 tournaments under the original name. Now, in August of 2020, Ultimate Boxer, rebranded to Boxer and announced its first signee. The winner of the Ultimate Boxer 3 tournament, Derek Osarze. Now, the following month, and under the new branding, Boxer announced its 7th tournament, Boxer Series 7, would take place in November 2020 with a new 4-man elimination format. In June 2021, it was announced that Boxer had signed a 4-year deal with Sky Sports. In September, Boxer revealed their roster of fighters, including Hughie Fury, Savannah Marshall, and Caroline Dubois, as well as co-promoting deals with Clarissa Shields and Chris Eubank Jr. Now, a co-promotional deal was also made with Bob Arum's Top Rank in regard to the world title fight between Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall. This was a few years back. Now, Boxer's first event on Sky Sports was a co-promotion with Wasserman Boxing, featuring Eubank Jr. on October 2nd, 2021. And the most notable high-profile event associated with Boxer was between domestic rivals Amir Khan and Kell Brook on February 19, 2022. Remember that? Yeah, Boxer promoted that when they finally fought, like 50 years after they should have fought. Right, but yeah, Kell Brook stopped Amir like 4 or 5 rounds. Amir went and got Bomac, but that didn't even help him. But, I think Brook would have still beat him if they would have fought in their prime. Because Kell Brook was a monster in his prime, man. Yes, he was. He gave Earl all he could handle when Earl went over there, but Earl eventually beat him. But early in that fight, Brook was giving Earl the business, man. Yes, he was. He was giving Earl all he could handle, but Earl outlasted him. Earl was patient, took his time, and broke him down. That was classic breaking a fighter down, what Earl did to Brook. But Brook was doing pretty good early in the fight. But yeah, anyway, he would have beat Amir Khan if they had fought in their primes. But anyway, some of Boxer's current stable include Adam Azim, Zach Shelley, Caroline Dubois, Natasha Jonas, Savannah Marshall, Joshua Buatsi, and Dan Aziz. Yeah, that's what I have on some of the other promotional companies. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The meet and greet is tomorrow. Don't forget. If you're in the New York City area, join us. It's going to be a great time. Got some good food too. Let's ask Senior. Senior's still talking about the food from the meet and greet last July. Okay. So yeah. don't know about the food. I ain't seen it. You still talking about that last week? How good the food was last summer. Hey, you hear this? He gonna get me. Okay. But he is. Mhm. Yeah. Sorry, Cindy. But he is still talking. He was talking about the food in July last week. Okay. But it's tomorrow. Check it out one more time. Take it away, Big Dre. I said, take it away, Big Dre.
And it's finally here. It's fight week. So come join us this Friday night from 8 p.m. till midnight for an amazing network event where you can mingle with fighters, trainers, podcasters, and executives, as well as some of your favorite YouTube personalities from the JBT and others. The cost is only $30 and includes entry, food, and entertainment. There will be a cash bar, door prizes, and much more. Get your ticket today via Cash App at $JBT Network 1. That's $JBT Network 1. Or call 410-322-4365 for more information. Space is limited, so get your spot today. Another great event brought to you by the JBT. Curtis Sewell, Treasurer.
Okay, thank you, Big Dre. Yeah, that's tomorrow, starting at 8 p.m. 212. Okay. Gonna be some door prizes you can win up there. Some nice, the JBT always give away nice stuff, man. But it's not giving away, you gotta earn it. You gotta answer these trivia questions I come up with. I got some tough ones. Who founded the JBT? It's gonna be multiple choice. A, was it D1 from the Angry White Men? Was it Remo from Let's Talk Fashion? B, was it C, Senior from the Rise Podcast? Or was it D, J Hardcore for Hardcore Boxing News? Founder of the JBT. Just a sample question from the trivial contest we're gonna have, okay? Or was it Cast Sports? E, but it's only D, 4 multiple choice D. Okay, we'll be winding down, coming up on Just Do Boxing next at 4 p.m. Okay, and today on Just Do Boxing, WBC orders Bivol versus Benavidez. Good. Tank played by PBC claims hater, no workout. Keyshawn future plans. Today on Just Do Boxing, coming up in like 9 minutes, okay? Don't meet me there. Beat me over there. All right? No Cast Sports tomorrow. That will be on the road going to the Big Apple for the meet and greet. So I started to have it from the car, but nah. We'll just resume Monday, okay? We'll end up this big week of boxing history today. That's why we did the profile today. No Cast Sports tomorrow. Start back up Monday. Another big week of boxing history. Oregon was supposed to be boxing in the States today. It will be next Thursday. Oregon. Okay. Well, let me see who's next week. I got to go over here. Way over here to the other side of the room. To see who's going to be right back. See the profile for next week. Okay, I'm on the way back. Let me see who's next week. Next Friday's profile will be a good one. He did James Toney them. Oh, it's going to be Floyd Mayweather Jr. We never did Floyd. Okay, next week Floyd Mayweather Jr. I thought we had did Floyd, but we didn't. Yeah, James Toney we did James Toney. Yeah, Floyd Mayweather Jr. next Friday, the life and career. Okay. I can't believe we did all these profiles and did Floyd. Wow. But he's next week. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna bring this plane on down to the runway and pull into the terminal. Just Do Boxing is next. I really appreciate everybody that came through today. Again, no cash sports tomorrow. Thomas Hill in the building. What's up, T Hill? Be on the way to the Big Apple. Okay, so we'll pick it back up Monday. Only 3 days this week because I missed Monday too. Damn. I don't usually miss. But who knows? What might happen at the meet and greet? Might get a joint show live from everybody. Who knows? Right. But yeah, it's tomorrow, 8 p.m. Pull up on us. Make a donation or get your ticket for $30. Al Booger won the ticket to the fight last week. Be sitting there by D1 from the Angry White Men. Tonight at 10 p.m., the Angry White Men podcast. D1 and William Old School are at. You might see Old School on here with me Monday. We might do a joint show. We're going to be talking about Muhammad Ali, life and career of Muhammad Ali. So you get a bonus profile next week. Maybe. Okay. Me and Old School might get together. Old School from the Angry White Man podcast might be on. Join me next week as a special co-host. So that should be good. Monday, hope we can make that happen. And we're going to talk about Muhammad Ali. Okay. But I appreciate everybody for coming through today. Thomas Hill, Melanin Queen, Jarrell Hattie, Ken Saw Love 1, Mike Rim, Donnie Williams, Mike Mazik, and Miss Cass. Okay? Join me Monday for the next Cass Sports. I don't know what I did. Okay, but I undid it. But join me Monday. Because if it's Monday through Friday at 2 p.m., it's the Boxtorian bringing you all that boxing history. Just Do Boxing straight ahead. This is Cass Sports. Appreciate y'all. Everybody have a great afternoon. Hope to see y'all tomorrow at the meet and greet. And other than that, I will see y'all around those JBT streets.